If you're over 40 and struggling with stubborn belly fat, you've probably been told to avoid certain foods like carbs and to reduce fat and maybe even to skip meals. And for a while that might have even worked, but at some point it stops working. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 11 belly fat burning foods that I got completely wrong until I became a cortisol specialist. I'm Dr. Rosemarie. I'm a doctor of health psychology and a cortisol specialist. And what changed everything for me was not a new diet. It was understanding how the body responds to food under stress. Because fat loss after 40 is not about restriction. It's about hormonal signaling. So the first food, the carbohydrates. I used to think carbs were the problem, like bread, rice, potatoes. First thing I would do is cut them out. And you might even still believe that because carbs raise the blood sugar and blood sugar raises insulin and insulin stores fat, you might believe that. But here's what's actually happening. When cortisol is high, your body becomes more resistant to insulin. So now your body produces more insulin to do the same job. And that combination, high cortisol plus high insulin, pushes fat storage, because it's not just the carbs, it's the environment in which those carbs are entering. When you remove carbs completely, your body sees that as a threat. Cortisol goes even higher, and now fat loss becomes harder. So using carbs differently, pairing them with protein and fiber, will help you to stabilize instead of spike. The second food that I used to avoid was fats, because they're high in calories. But your body needs fat in order to produce good quality hormones. And when fat intake is too low, hormones become unstable. So cravings increase, your energy drops. Fat is also valuable because it slows digestion, which means it keeps blood sugar stable. And a lot of times, balanced fats will create more stability. The third food was fruits. I used to think fruit had too much sugar, but fruit also contains fiber, water, nutrients. So the problem then is not fruits. The problem is elevated cortisol and unstable blood glucose. That combination makes sugar much harder to manage. So instead of removing the fruit, how about you pair it with protein or fat? See, and now it's going to start working for you. I avoided dairy for all the wrong reasons. Before I became lactose intolerant, I thought that it caused inflammation. But for many people, that's not accurate. Dairy actually proves to be a good source of protein, because when protein is too low, your body keeps signaling for more food. So you keep eating, and you feel like you have no control. Adding protein changes the game. 5, eggs. I limited eggs because of cholesterol. But dietary cholesterol has very little impact on blood cholesterol. And for most people, eggs are a complete protein. They help regulate hunger and they support metabolism. Eggs are not the problem, they're actually a tool. Number 6, protein. I underestimated protein for years. Protein is necessary for building muscle. It controls hunger, satiety, metabolism, and it also increases calorie burn. So during digestion, many women are actually under-eating protein, and that keeps them hungry and tired and stuck. So aim for at least 20 to 30 grams of protein, high quality protein per meal. Let's look at number 7, skipping meals. So I thought that skipping meals would help with fat loss, but actually skipping meals raises your cortisol level, creates blood sugar crashes, and it leads to cravings and fat storage, especially at night when your body is looking for more consistency. It does not want extremes. Number 8, coffee. Now, I used to think coffee was bad. Coffee is not the issue. Timing when you have the coffee is important. So eat first, then you can have the caffeine. Number 9, fiber. I underestimated the value of fiber. Fiber helps to slow down blood glucose, and that plays a huge role in metabolism. Fiber also helps to regulate your entire system. Number 10, hydration. I overlooked hydration. didn't have enough water. And dehydration actually increases your cortisol level and it slows down metabolic processes. Water is not optional, it is really foundational. Number 11, perfect eating. For the longest time, I struggled with a diet mentality, the perfect eating. Thought everything had to be perfect. Clean eating, strict rules. But perfection creates stress, and stress raises your cortisol levels. And cortisol blocks fat loss. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Fat loss after 40 is not about removing foods. It's about understanding how your body responds to stress, how it responds to blood sugar, and to hormones. Once those signals shift, your body stops holding on, and that is when the fat loss finally starts working. If this helped you, like this video and subscribe so that you and I can stay connected. This is exactly what I teach on this channel. And I'll show you how to apply what you learn so that you can finally get the results that you want. Now that you know the belly fat burning foods I got completely wrong until I became a cortisol specialist, you might be wanting to learn how to lose stubborn visceral fat with zero cortisol. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts by watching this video, because when you pair what's in this video with what you just learned, it's going to be a lot more powerful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.